It would be fair to say that Douglas Jardine, England cricket captain in the early 1930s and architect of the bodyline tactic, was one of the most hated men to ever set foot in Australia. Once Jardine had set sail from the country in 1933, after curbing the powers of Australia's wonder batsman Don Bradman and winning the coveted Ashes 4-1, it wasn't the end of the story. Jardine's extended family had been cattle owners in Queensland since the mid-1800s, and Jardine himself had invested in a sheep farming interest called the New South Wales Land Agency. When Jardine sold the agency to the London-based Scottish Australian company in 1953, he joined the board of directors, but to his shock, he was asked to visit Australia to represent the company and seek out business opportunities. Jardine was so concerned about the possible negative reaction to him returning to Australia that he reached out to former Australian batsman Jack Fingleton for his opinion on the matter. Fingleton, now a well-known journalist, had been instrumental in encouraging Jardine's chief weapon, fast bowler Harold Larwood, in emigrating to Australia in 1950. Fingleton assured Jardine that he would be welcomed with open arms, which he was surprised and relieved by when he found it to be the case when arriving down under. When hearing that Jardine was in the country, former Australian leg spinner Arthur Mailey organised a lunch at Sydney's Pickwick Club, where Jardine, Larwood and Bert Oldfield, the Australian wicket-keeper who was famously felled by a Larwood delivery in the Bodyline series, would be reunited. Also attending the lunch was Australian Prime Minister and cricket tragic Robert Menzies, as well as 1920s Test players Warren Bardsley, Charlie McCartney and Johnny Taylor. It was a convivial occasion. Jardine said he was surprised anyone in Australia would be willing to invite him out to lunch. Prime Minister Menzies shamed the former Test players with his cricket knowledge, and McCartney and Taylor assured the gathering that if they hadn't already retired, they would have belted the cover off bodyline bowling. At the end of the lunch, Jardine shook Larwood's hand, saying, "Goodbye, Harold. It's been lovely to see you." Larwood replied, "Come back and see me again, Skipper." It would be the last time they would meet, Jardine dying of cancer 5 years later in 1958. As for former combatants, Oldfield and Larwood, they would strike up a friendship and would remain mates for the rest of their lives. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.